Welcome to this short presentation on the Contract Management Portal. We'll explain what it is and how to use it. The aim of this session is to provide an overview of the portal only. It should explain the purpose of the CMP, demonstrate the basics of using a SharePoint site, and how to manage your documents on the CMP and request access. There is also a handout to go with it which explains in more depth how to use the portal. So what is the Contract Management Portal? The portal represents a contractual memory and an audit trail for the contract lifecycle. It's a place to store key contractual documentation, and it captures information to provide efficient reporting and analysis of data across all contracts. You're able to perform desktop audits rather than going to site. It's proof to an external auditor that we're in control of our business. New contract managers are able to find all the information they need in a consistent and structured way. All the key items that we share with a client should be maintained within the client portal. The document storage and reporting function is built on a SharePoint platform. When you access the portal, you'll be able to see all of the contracts you have access to. In this example, we're going to go through to look at London Borough of Lewisham. Once you click on the contract you're interested in, it takes you through to a central landing page which allows you to access different modules and various types of information. We're going to look at the contract bid and mobilisation module here. It takes you through to folders which represent the different sections there. And then you can drill down further to see the documents. And then finally you'll click on a document and it will open up where you can read it. The landing page of the portal is divided up into different modules, and we'll be looking at each one of these in turn as we go through the session. Information can be added to the CMP by the mobilisation, bid and commercial teams, and they'll populate it with the original contract, the bid and the mobilisation documentation. Once the contract is mobilised, the contract manager and his teams are able to add to the contract record and capture changes, client reports, populate action logs and risk logs, etc. through the life of the contract. Once the contract is demobilised, all the final documentation will be added and then the final client sign-off. Once the contract is complete, we'll keep the records for a further 6 years before we dispose of them. The use of the CMP is now mandatory by mobilisation teams, contract managers and business support managers. As a business, we need to maintain our ISO accreditation, and the CMP provides evidence that we are managing our contracts and ensuring that we meet the accreditation standards. It means that all the people who require access to vital contract data can access it, no matter where they're located. The portal is based on a SharePoint site. So now let's look at some of the basics of using SharePoint. SharePoint is a web-based collaborative platform that integrates with Microsoft Office. It's a very stable way of sharing documents with a large group of users. If somebody needs to use SharePoint, then they're given access depending on their need. They can be editors or contributors, which allow them to edit, view and delete and update documents, or a reader, which gives them read-only access. Your user access rights will determine what you can see on the CMP and whether you can upload, edit or delete documents. The toolbars that are present can either be active or inactive or not available depending on your access level. There are some important things to remember when managing documents in SharePoint. Version control. Ensure that the final version of the document is clearly evident in the file name, especially if there are multiple document versions. You need to use clear file names. Ensure that the title of the information is clear for identification purposes, especially if you're saving regularly the same type of information within the portal. Make it as easy as possible to identify and retrieve appropriate information for a particular time period. To make life easier for everyone, prefix your folders and file names with a number if you wish to make sure that they are presented in a logical order. So by putting 01 or month 0102 in front of the file name, they will be in chronological order. You are able to password protect documentation that you upload to your portal. If you apply a single password to all the relevant documentation, you can notify the governance team. They'll store the password confidentially and only release it to appropriate members of staff. Please be mindful of your document protection obligations and consider if it's necessary to identify anybody individually within the information that you're recording or storing on the portal. Where you're storing documents that contain information of personal or sensitive nature, it's strongly advisable to use a password. Using the Contract Manager portal. You'll find different types of modules within the portal. Some will have sub-modules within them or subfolders. Others will just be standalone modules. There are some modules also that provide tracking and logging tools. This section is going to contain information about how to store documentation within those different types of modules. If you have the accessibility to upload documents, you will see the New Document option or drag files here. To add the documents, you either drag the document over or you can click to add new document and then choose a document from your computer. If you have the permission to do so, you can also create subfolders within your modules. Documents that have been uploaded already can be opened, edited and updated. You select the three dots that sit alongside your document and then choose Edit. And this will open it up in the relevant application like Word or Excel. When you close and save the document, then those changes will be saved back to the original document within the portal. Some modules are arranged in a list format. In this way, you can keep track of risks, opportunities, complaints and actions. In the next few slides, we'll look at how to add new records and edit and attach attachments. In order to enter a new record to a list, you click on New Item. This will open up a template which you need to complete. Template will have different types of fields, either drop downs or free text, and there'll also be an explanation against each. Once you've completed the template, you choose Save, and that will add your item to your list. If you want to edit the list, you can open up the list in a tabular format, which allows you to edit multiple records at the same time. In addition, you can add a document to your record. You can do that either when it's a new record or while you're editing an existing one. There is an option to attach files to each list item. Let's look at some of the modules that are contained within the CMP. The modules are arranged in 4 groups: the Contract group, the Perform group, the Plan and Act group, and the Communicate group. The Contract Bid and Mobilisation module is read-only, so that documents cannot be accidentally edited or deleted. Only the governance team can add documentation to this module. It's an archive to make sure that all the final versions of information can be accessed. If you believe that something needs to be added or there's something missing, then please advise the governance team. The Risk Management portal allows you to record, review and assess your contract risks on a regular basis. It should be maintained in real time where possible to ensure that new risks are logged and current risks are amended. You click on Risk and Opportunity and then choose Risk. From here you can see the open risks, the top 10 contract risks and closed risks, and there's also a user guide which allows you to find out more. The Action Tracker module tracks all the actions arising from business reviews, red flag or horizon reviews, audits and formal customer meetings or requests. Again, this should be reviewed on a regular basis and it sits in a list format. The Complaints module is another list and it's used to record any formal complaints made by the client. All the correspondence related to a complaint needs to be attached here, so any initial complaints if in writing, investigation reports or any other correspondence. Some of the portals have links that take you straight to your network drive folder structure. Please note that access to the network drives has been temperamental whilst the Office 365 has been rolled out. Ultimately, the network drives will be phased out during 2019. Teams will be provided with shared working spaces within Office 365 OneDrive or SharePoint solutions. On the portal, you'll also see access to the Data Hub. This is the framework in which the governance team shares archive reporting information. The link from your portal takes you to Operations, whereby you can select recent reports. Please note that the Data Hub is a separate SharePoint site and that there are links to be able to get back to the CMP at the top of the page. If you select Return to the Data Hub Reports page, you're presented with the following modules: Business Assurance, Operations, Business Development and SHEAR. You can also drill down further by selecting the Data Hub homepage, where you'll be able to find interactive reporting, broadcast reports and archives, master lists and collaborative discussions. Finally, let's look at how you can access the CMP. Remember, access is limited to those within the business who really need it due to the content of the CMP. This may be the mobilisation managers, the contract managers and a nominated deputy, business support, business assurance, SHE manager and commercial manager. The access permissions can be editorial or view only. Once access is granted, then the link will be sent to you and it takes you directly to the Contract Management Portal homepage. If you want to set up access for yourself or a member of your team, please contact the governance team. Provide name, email address, the job role so that we can give you the appropriate access, and the contracts to which you require access to. Thank you for taking your time to listen to this presentation. Please have a look at the handout which will give you more details about how to use the CMP.